Hello, hello. This is Dr. Keith Henry on here again for another segment of Weekend Natural News. Again, I am a naturopathic doctor, practitioner. I'm based in Orlando, Florida, and in this today's story, it is a cautionary tale. And I spend a lot of my time trying to help people to eat well and warn them uh, of bad eating habits. Again, this is the Week in Natural News. In this broadcast, I just try and take a few minutes to take articles that have come out during the day or the week and basically give my overall commentary on that particular article that's come out either that day or that week. This one is found at Newsweek.com, and it's entitled "Teenager Went Blind After Only Eating Fries, Chips, White Bread, Sausages, and ham since elementary school." The article goes on to say that this young man only ate 5 different foods and went blind despite having no visible signs he was malnourished, according to his doctor. The young man, the article goes on to say, visited his family doctor complaining about being tired, according to the case study published in the journal Annals of Internal Medicine. Uh, the doctor learned the boy was a fussy eater, end quote, but he looked well. His test revealed that he was anemic and he had low levels of vitamin B12. The article says further that by the age of 15, his hearing and vision began to fade. He had an MRI, and this MRI scan revealed that he had no structural problems with his ears, while an eye test similarly failed to reveal any structural cause. His vision, however, continued to deteriorate, and by the age of 17, doctors discovered the boy had suffered damage to his optic nerve. The teenager had 2200 vision, meaning he was considered legally blind. Now, after they ran some tests, and these tests showed that his body was deficient in nutrients, again, B12. He was also deficient in copper, selenium, and vitamin D, which is thought to have caused him to have weak bones. However, says the article, the boy had developed normally and had an average height, average weight, and also a regular BMI, or body mass index. Uh, After a doctor asked him about his diet, the boy admitted he would not eat foods with certain textures. He said he had eaten this way since he was in elementary school. The article goes on to point out that every day he would eat a portion of fries and snack on Pringles, white bread, slices of processed ham, and sausages. Oh, this is a horrible, horrible diet. And you can see most people don't eat it to this extreme. Most people eat bad diets, but it's over a longer amount of time, and they end up with some disease like heart disease or diabetes or some other disease. Here we see an extreme example of what could happen by eating all this junk food. The article goes on to point out how clinicians prescribed him nutritional supplements and referred him to a mental health service to treat him for avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. The article said that most individuals with this condition develop it in middle school and are uninterested in food and are sensitive to textures and are worried about eating. However, their BMI would usually be normal. The young man's eyesight actually stopped worsening after he was put on these nutritional supplements. However, but it didn't improve. And the boy's diet is much the same, which probably will help explain why. I suspect that after taking these nutritional supplements, had he changed his diet as well, he might have begun to see at least some improvement if the damage was not so severe. But the article goes on to say uh, that nutrition, and gives a quote, nutrition does not just depend on how much you eat, but what you eat. In this case, it illustrates that fact. Here was a boy who consumed enough calories. He had normal height and weight and no visible signs of malnutrition, but he restricted his food to crisp and chips, being fries, and a bit of processed pork. In other words, energy dense foods of little nutritional value. The case illustrates the fact that calorie intake and BMI are not reliable factors of nutritional status, end quote. So here we have, as I said earlier, a cautionary tale of not eating well or eating badly. Like I said before, uh, many people eat badly. It's just that they don't eat badly to this extreme, and so they don't have the same consequences in such a short amount of time, but eventually they do have the same consequences and end up on some type of medication of some sort or the other. And so the article goes on to say, quote, he now takes multivitamin supplements, but I cannot say that his eating behavior has changed, much despite seeing gastroenterologists, dietitians, the child's mental health team, and eating disorder, and a child mental health team, and eating disorder specialist. He still apparently is pretty much eating the same. It says some 2 billion people rather worldwide are affected by micronutrient deficiencies. But there is little awareness among health professionals and the public of the damages can do to visual health. So again, the article goes on to point out how vitamin deficiencies can affect the nerves, feeding the eyes. Many ultra processed foods are high in energy but low in nutrients, and we need to be aware of this. So again, most diseases that you encounter, the root cause of some type of the body is overly toxic or inflamed, and the reason for this in many cases is that there's severe nutritional deficiencies of micronutrients and nutrients, and thus it can lead to disease. Thank you for joining me. Be sure to subscribe and try and crank out and give just my spiel as a natural practitioner on these articles that come out daily and weekly. Thank you for listening. Until next time, be blessed.